Today we are making Banh Mi. Banh Mi is actually the Vietnamese word for bread, but in this context, in the English world, it often means Vietnamese roll and sandwich. So that's what we're going to be making today. We're going to be making a Banh Mi, a Vietnamese roll, and there's three main components that we need to make before we assemble, and that is pickled vegetables, it is crispy pork, or you can have any sort of meat, but I'm doing crispy pork with crackling, and the bread, the main part. So we're doing it all from scratch. We're making our own pickled vegetables, we're making our own crispy pork, and we are making our own bread. So let's get started with the pickled vegetables. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is we are going to be making some pickled vegetables. So this is some Daikon or white radish. I got it from the market. It didn't have a label, but it looks like it. And a carrot. This is for my brother. He got a bit triggered that there was nothing underneath, like chopping boards or anything like that, to kind of keep it in place, to stop it slipping. So I'm just gonna wet this tea towel as a little grip pad. Start off by peeling. So yeah, we're just gonna start off with by peeling these vegetables. Now that we have our vegetables cut up, well, I mean, not cut up, I mean, now that we've got our vegetables peeled, we're going to cut them into like matchstick sizes. Yeah, so right there. And I don't really know the best method for doing this, other than just, yeah, then we just cut it into sort of matchsticks. And there we have our carrot, and now we just do exactly the same thing with the Daikon. But yeah, just make it into matchsticks. And there we have a full bowl. I actually fit it all in here, so I'm kind of surprised at that. Full bowl of Daikon and carrot. So next up is to begin, sort of making the pickling stuff of it. I'm actually going to switch to a bigger bowl for the purposes that we need it for. So, got a bigger bowl, chuck in some salt. I think the recipe says probably a teaspoon or something like that, I don't know. It's just mix it around and kind of massage it a little. And we kind of want the salt, I believe, will draw out a moisture. Quite possibly the sugar as well, I'm not really sure. I know salt draws out moisture in many things. It's definitely a lot more moist than it was before. And look at that, Daikon practically is flexible enough to touch. So yeah, I don't know if you can see that, but Daikon is basically, and the carrot's a lot more flexible than usual, but I think this is probably good enough. And then we're just going to give these a rinse off. And I'm just going to rinse this in the sink. Nothing too fancy about that. All right, there's our rinsed stuff. And what I like to do now, before we make the pickling juice, is actually just pack it into jars, just so we can fill it up. And then when we fill in the pickling juice, yeah, we don't sort of overfill it. We might have to chuck it in a few jars, so we just got this one to start off with. All right, there you go, 2 jars ready to rock and roll. All right, let's make the pickling juice. Alright, so we've got our bowl from before, just rinsed out a little bit. And we're going to do half a cup of sugar, like so. 1 cup of water, white vinegar, and then we'll do 1 1/4 cups. So if this is half a cup, we'll do 1. Oh, we ran out. Alright, we're just going to have to do that then. No 1/4 cup, basically a cup. I'm sure it'll be fine. If it isn't, I will let you guys know. And we just dissolve and mix. There we go. Dissolved, and then now we're just gonna kind of tip these bad boys in. Let's see how this goes. Fine, I think most of it's in the water. And there we have it. That's our pickled carrot and Daikon. You want to have this at least kind of in the mixture for about an hour before using it. But, or you could just do it the day before. What we're gonna do is we are going to make, or start making the bread. So we are going to need 500 grams of flour. There we go, 500 grams. 7 to 8 grams of salt. Cool, 7 grams. Little whiskey boy. Give that a little mix aroundy. Oh man, I'm already making a mess. 4 grams of sugar. There we go, 4 grams of sugar. 8 grams of yeast. There we go. Alright, we don't need the scale anymore. 335 mils of water. Alright, so that's 350, so we'll just chuck in like... Actually, we'll mix this around first. Alright, and we'll start with like 300. And now, I guess incorporate it. So we'll just use this, the fork for now. And we'll just incorporate everything. And mixing and mixing and mixing. So, making a lot of bread. All little different sort of doughs. I mean, again, now we just need to knead it more. So we want it nice and smooth, but also kind of stretchy. Let me know about my rate of my kneading techniques if they're... So this is getting close to what we want, I think. So the test is to see we need to do it more. So we want it to be kind of stretchy. So we need to mix it a lot more. All right, so I've kneaded for quite some time. Let's give it the stretch test. So basically what we're doing is just, I don't know what's the best way that you can see, seeing how much it can stretch. So this is quite stretchy now. It's not breaking very easily like it was before. So I'd say that's good. I'd say that's pretty good. And it's nice and smooth. We'll make it into a nice ball shape. I mean, look at that. That looks really nice, right? That looks really cool. This is probably the best looking dough at this stage I've made. Like that is I'm really happy with that. And now, like every dough, we gonna proof it. So I'm just gonna chuck it into this pot. And we just, so just gonna make note of the size of it. So it should be like this big. Most people use Glad wrap. I'm just gonna use a lid. I think that should suffice, right? Just like that. And we'll just leave that in for an hour or two. Well, into a double in size basically. And I think this should be good enough. It has expanded a bit more, but I wouldn't say it's, yeah, I'd say that's good. It hasn't like inflated as much as I want, but it is keeping its indentations. So I think this is actually good to kind of split up. So that's about 138, 128. They're rough, but... And to stop it from drying out, we'll put it just a kind of thing over here. So the way they did it in like the recipe I'm going off and the video I'm going off, they kind of slapped it together, right? Like bam, like that. That's probably a bit what we're after. So that's kind of our first one. We'll see how this goes. Yeah, like that. And then we just do that for the rest of them. So I think that the trick is to kind of pinch at the sides but leave the middle kind of nice and... These shapes are not good. That might be my best one yet. Alright, so here we have our banh mi stuff ready for second proof. The shaping is a bit off, but you know, whatever. We're gonna just spray it with some water and then we just let it rest. And so it doubles in size, whatever that may be. So yeah, this is just proofing, I was proofing in. So they've kind of increased in size. I'm not sure if they're big enough for banh mi yet though. So I want to proof them just a little bit more, maybe another 20 minutes. But they're not as big as I would want them to be. And they're kind of all misshapen. So yeah, you want to get them to about 80% of the size that it's going to be finishing up on. So they're very small at the moment. They're not as big as I'd like them to be. Anyway, so we'll just keep that going for a little while. Alright, here we have our banh mi. I've rested for probably a couple hours now. It hasn't gone too much more than that. I've preheated the oven. Recipe says to get to 475 degrees, but I have no idea if this oven gets that hot. So then we just make some slices. So you use a razor blade for this. They've deflated a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, interesting I suppose. I think they've doubled in size, but I don't know. They're not as big as I wanted them to be. So we have a tray of water. As you can see here, we're going to put this in the bottom section. Alright, and then we're going to put this on the top section, so I'll show you guys. So yeah, there we have our oven, our bread, and we have a tray of water just underneath. Get nice and cooking after 10, so we do this for 15 minutes. So we'll just have to play it by ear, I guess. So I guess 10 minutes and then another until it looks brown. And yeah, we'll call that the bread done. Alright, I think the bread is done. Not gonna lie, not good. Alright, we'll let that rest for a little while, but these are not as big as I wanted them to be at all. But I guess we'll just have to see how they turn out. We're gonna have very small banh mi. Yeah, they're not super big. Like I wanted them to be at least like this big. So yeah, that didn't quite work, but that's okay. We'll let this rest, we'll let it cool down. What else is important in the banh mi? And that's the meat. So you can do any sort of meat, but I'm gonna be doing pork with pork belly. And we're gonna do this in our Ninja Foodie, and we're kind of gonna do it like, it's like a duo crisp or Instant Pot. Let's just open this up. Here we go, look at that. So we're gonna start off with just, we're just gonna salt it. So the aim is we're gonna get it nice and tender in the pressure cooker, and then we're gonna use the air crisper. All right, and we're just gonna add some salt. So there's a few different ways you can do this. You can do like leave it overnight, then get it off, kind of do a bit of a salt rub. I'm just going to just salt it. Most of the banh mi flavor comes from like the bread and the vegetables, and the pork is just kind of meat. Like there's just pork meat basically. This didn't have anything for pork belly, so I just did some research, and we're going to be pressure cooking it on high for 30 minutes. With a couple cups of water in there to keep the pressure up. And we can just, oh look at that, it's almost a perfect fit, so that's nice. So I'll just move over to the pressure, oh look at that, you get a nice view from up there. We'll just put it straight in, and then we'll add a couple cups of water. Chuck on the lid, chuck it to seal, so seal there. Alright, got it on. Let's start. It's in pressure cooker mode. We want to do pressure high for, let's go, 30 minutes. Alright, so it's finished cooking. Let's release. So there was actually natural releasing for about 10 minutes. So we'll just pop it open. Shouldn't be too much left. Yeah. Not too much. Whoa, it expanded. Well, that's a thick boy. Is that from all the fat? I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna bring all this out, start preparing for the air fryer. There we go. So that expanded a lot more than I thought. I mean, like, I don't know if you guys saw us, but that kind of thickened up a little. But it does look cooked. And now we get to do the air crisping part. Slide this onto here. Oh, hot. We poke holes. So this is a way to get it nice and bubbly, release a lot of the moisture, because the crispiness actually comes from like dehydrated, like it's no longer got moisture, and that's what makes things crispy. So we're gonna poke a bunch of holes in here, a bunch of holes, and you can already see that there's a lot of moisture coming out. A lot of moisture is coming out already. Brick it nice and good. I'm just surprised of how much it expanded though. Like it really, I don't know if that's part of the pressure cooking or if it's because there's a lot of fat. I mean, look at how much moisture has come off already. All right, and then we'll just also score it. Okay, that wasn't meant to happen. Give it another tap. Back onto the rack. And I think what we'll do as well is we'll chuck a bit more salt on it. Chuck a bit more salt on the top. Pork belly, let's bring it in. So look at that, it looks nice. Close the lid. And now we can air fry it. So we're gonna air crisp it. It'll be 200 degrees, and let's do 20. That should make it nice and crispy at the top. And yeah, let's give that a go. Get it nice and crispy up the top. Okay, so I didn't check it after 15 in the end. I only checked it, so this is after 20. Let's see what it's looking like. Ooh, that's not looking too shabby. I don't know, that's not looking too shabby. I think we could do another 5 in there though. What do you guys think? I reckon another 5 minutes in there. Because we didn't preheat it. So I reckon another 5 minutes. See how this goes. Alright, let's have another look-see. I don't know, I reckon we could go another 5. I don't know. There's some definite crackling going on. I think we can go for another 5. Another 5. Yeah, let's go another 5. Alright, let's see. Oh, that's nice. I think we're gonna keep it at this level. Is good. Good enough for me. Let's just do the good old. Oh, yeah, that's good. That is good. All right. Woo! Look at that. Looks real good. Real good. All right, we'll just have to let it rest. Ooh. So let's do. So we probably have to leave it rest for a little while, but oh, that's what you want. All right, so we just leave this rest for a little while. All right, let's give this a little. Oh, maybe we do it backside. Oh, do you hear that? Whoa, it's probably still quite warm. Let's give some of this. I don't know if it's going to focus very well, but oh, did you guys hear that? Oh my gosh, it's still moist pork as well. Oh crap. That's some crunchy shit. Wow. That's some good pork crackling. That's probably like the best pork crackling I've done ever. So that's perfect for banh mi. I have to see what the inside bits are. Because the edge bit, the meat was kind of dry, but I think that's okay. Because we have some good pork crackling. So I'm going to try and wrap that up or something. I don't know. I don't have any airfoil for some reason. I just don't have any airfoil. That's the meat done. All right, let's make some banh mi with all the stuff we've had. So I've let this bread cool down a little bit. It's not exactly what I was looking after, so not a huge success with the bread, but you know, that's okay. I don't know, making bread is still a very new concept to me, and so yeah, so this is very dense. When you're looking for banh mi, you want it very fluffy, you want it crumbly on the outside. So yeah, I probably just didn't let it rest enough for the second rest. Even though it was resting for quite a while, it was proofing for quite a while. Improvements necessary for that, but that's okay. We're learning here. This is the first time from scratch, so obviously not great. Next, we got to get all our ingredients along with this. So we have our pork to the side here, we have our bread, we need mayo, we need our pickled vegetables, and we need some cucumber and some chilies. So let's get that. So I'm going to be using QP, and then we'll just slice up some cucumber. All right, and we'll just slice up a little bit of chili as well. Just a little bit of chili. Specifications are, that should be enough. And we have our pickled vegetables here that we did. All right. just yeah. So yeah, this didn't rest enough, I don't think, for the second one because it's too dense. Even though I swear we were resting it for quite a while. We'll chuck in a cucumber. We'll chuck in some chili. Like honestly, just get some if you don't want to go the full 9 yards that like I did with making your own bread, which is by far the trickiest part. Just to buy some bread. You kind of just want to dice it. That's what I found the best. And we just want to slot in. And there we have banh mi. As best as I could do. So yeah, let's give this a bit of a taste. So I just realised I wasn't recording when I took my first bite of this banh mi. So I was just monologuing to myself. I mean, which is what I do anyway. But not bad. The bread, a bit dense, not as fluffy and as crumbly on the outside like a traditional banh mi would be that I really enjoy. But the pork, really nice. With the mayo, the cucumber, the pickled daikon and carrot adds a bit more kind of zest to it. A little bit chilly, although these ones aren't very strong, so I can't even taste it. But yeah, not bad. I love banh mi. Always really good to go to. The bread is kind of the biggest one of the biggest players, and this bread I didn't rest it enough for the second rest. I think I need to let it double more in size because it's very dense, so it's not as fluffy as I would like it. But yeah, making bread still difficult to me and something I've still got to work on. Because yeah, I think I did this all today. It's almost 3 and I started about 9. So the bread always takes a long time, and sometimes, you know, it's good to learn how to do these things, but more practice necessary, I think. And yeah, I'll just finish this for my late lunch. And there we have my attempt at making banh mi. Obviously the bread didn't turn out quite as nice as I would have liked it. A bit of a, I wouldn't say disaster, but not quite exactly what we wanted. We didn't get that sort of crumbly, very fluffy roll. We got a very dense roll and a bit too small, so bit of work to be improved there, but that's okay. We gave it a go. The pork and the pickled vegetables, especially the pork, was outstanding. So if you got anything from that, that's a really nice way to get some crispy pork in a air crisper or Instant Pot Duo or a Ninja Foodie, where you have the pressure cooking available and the air crisping. But thank you all for watching this video. If you want to see more cooking content, please subscribe. It would help me a lot. Maybe give it a thumbs up for the algorithm, and maybe check out my socials on Twitter, on Instagram, and on TikTok. It's the Mr. Untitled. So thank you all, and I hope you have a lovely day. Peace.